What is up, everybody? Appreciate you for diving in here with us on a Tuesday. Appreciate you diving in. As always, make sure you're liking, sharing, and subscribing to your favorite show here on YouTube, your favorite live show. It's right here on Mic Drop Sports. Again, like, share, subscribe, all that good shit. We truly, truly appreciate it. We are going to dive into a ton of things today. Aaron Rodgers news, Mike Tomlin stuff. And we are just going to dive into all things Steelers as they head into a pivotal matchup against the Chicago Bears here this Sunday in Chicago, in a game that does have major implications for the Steelers, despite it being an NFC opponent. The Steelers need to come out with a W to continue to keep pace and continue to keep that lead inside of the AFC North. And this is definitely going to be one of those weeks that it's a must have on the road. You got to win these types of games in the National Football League in order to reach the goals that you want to as a football team and be the team that you want to be when it comes playoff time. So we're going to dive into all that first. Let me start off with some of the chat messages. What's up, Zachary in the house? Good to see you. Another Wombat in the house. Good to see you, another Wombat. Grant Algren in the house. Good to see you, Grant. Grant says, what's up, Jason and Mike Drop Gang? Hope we enjoyed our Victory Monday. Absolutely, we did. Extra Black, our friend, what's up, man? Good to see you in the chat. Za says, also glad to catch you, brother. Hope your day is good so far. It is wonderful. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. My Floyd is Pink 79. Happy Tuesday, Jason. Good to see you. JD in the house. Good to see you, JD. Our friend Daniel Warman in the house. He says, Jason, do you think that hit on Flacco by TJ Watt was a penalty? Thank you. I don't think any of those types of hits are penalties, Daniel. And Daniel leads us off with a good question here to get the football talk started tonight. Again, good to see you, Daniel. I don't think those bang bang type plays are penalties because quarterbacks are football players too. And I understand the league wants to protect these $50+ million investments that teams make in these players. So I get that. I get protecting them the best you can, but it's got to be football also. You can't go out there and protect them to the point that it makes it unwatchable, that there's a flag every time you touch them. I am a big proponent of changing some of those rules, in my opinion. I think some of these rules have created something in the National Football League that's troublesome to me. The NFL creating all these rules, making it very, very difficult to even come near a quarterback and hit them and cause that pressure. Players got to worry about woeing up and not falling on them hard. That's not football, man, in my opinion. But they've created something here to where I believe sometimes they allow the quarterbacks that maybe necessarily wouldn't in prior times have stayed back in the pocket so long to deliver the football, but doing so now where they don't have to worry about protecting themselves as much. And I think that's creating a disadvantage for the defense to where they can't go back and tee off on them. And years ago, when you used to be able to put a lot of pressure on quarterbacks, they got flustered quickly and bailed. And you saw that a lot with especially young quarterbacks. They would bail out of the pocket fast because they didn't want to be hit. They didn't want to take those big blows. Now they hang in there a little bit too long. And I think, again, it's a disadvantage for the defense because they're not allowed to go and smack the taste out of their mouth. So now these guys are just back there throwing the shit out of the football without worry. And that takes a component of the game away, in my opinion, defensively, especially with what the Steelers have liked to do over the years. They want to get pressure and hit the quarterback. They want to hit them so hard at times that it knocks them out of the game because they don't want to, they want to get that guy up out of there. So I think that's a problem. And I don't think it's a penalty in my eyes. I know it is, but actually that specific hit with TJ, I don't think was a penalty even by the league's definition of the rules. It's so bang bang, and how do you expect that guy when it's so bang bang to pull up and not fall on him so hard? I think that's ridiculous. I think it causes injuries to pass rushers because of the way they have to awkwardly fall not to hurt a quarterback. I think it's absolutely ridiculous, and I think honestly the league needs to peel some of this back, allow some more hitting during the week to where bodies are used to being hit instead of now, can't touch guys at all. And then all of a sudden when they do take a big hit, it's troublesome. They're injured. So yeah, that's my explanation. Hopefully, I gave you a good one there. Tom Ford, what's up? Tom says, "What's up, Jason and everybody else in the mic drop mafia? Good to see you, Tom. Good to see you, my friend." Zach Curry, Grim Medusa says, "Keep the divisional lead is crucial. We can't afford to lose it. The records of the people in the wild card have more wins currently." Yeah, it's going to be a funky year, man, because you're seeing so many teams that already have three, four losses, five losses in some instances. So you're going to have a lot of that, and that's what I said a couple shows ago. You could possibly have an AFC North team that has 9 wins, 10 wins, that is a divisional winner. That is going to be the 4 seed in the AFC playoffs, but they will play wild card weekend. Yeah, you got to continue to keep that lead. You can't afford to rely on maybe getting a wild card position, because I don't think if you have 6 losses that you're going to be able to get into a wild card spot. I think it's going to be really, really troublesome to do so. Extra Black, I don't mind A-Rod playing, but I hope Pierre plays more than Slay. Yeah, I think James Pierre earned a right. He hits, he covers, and he plays with excitement and energy, and he has young legs. You're looking at Darius Slay, a guy that's very old for cornerbacks. Not old as a individual out on the street, but an old guy in terms of NFL cornerbacks. And I think James Pierre has proven that he should be out there above Darius Slay by the play that he exhibits here over the last couple weeks. Zod also says, got to give them a pillow and blanket before the tackle, like Kevin Hart's get. No doubt, no doubt. Danny George says, Mason effing Rudolph, baby. Yeah, and that's going to be something that we need to talk about here tonight. No doubt about it. Let me get to JD, and then we'll talk about something here. Maybe that's why the Steelers miss so many tackles at times. Maybe the players are afraid of a flag. Just saying, I think it is, JD. I think that is something that has to be taken into account, because you have to woe up too much, man. And that's not football. That's not football at all, if you ask me. But let's talk about some of the things here. Aaron Rodgers, guys. Aaron Rodgers does not need left wrist surgery. The Steelers quarterback pushing to play Sunday against the Bears. So that is something that has been coming out here. Also, let's go to a quote from Mike Tomlin. I know he's working his tail off to be a component this week, Tomlin said. He and I talked yesterday, he expressed that directly. I'm of the mindset of supporting that, while at the same time, I've got a healthy collective of guys as a team and as a unit to ready. We'll see where the week leads us, and we'll take it day by day. And absolutely, Mike Tomlin cannot give away exactly what he's going to do with Aaron Rodgers. That would be absolutely stupid on his part, to be honest, to give that away and say, hey, he's not playing or he is playing. You let that variable be up in limbo until the last possible minute to create an environment for the Bears to have to prepare for both Mason Rudolph and Aaron Rodgers, considering their skill sets are vastly different. You're looking at Mason Rudolph that likes to push the ball deep down the field, that has younger, fresher legs, more fluid mobility inside of the pocket and out of the pocket. So you've got to take that into consideration a little bit more. No, he's not a running quarterback by no means, but he is faster and stronger than Aaron Rodgers is currently at this stage of his career. And then you have to prepare for Aaron Rodgers and what he's been able to do against the Bears. This isn't the same Bears team, though, that Aaron Rodgers, guys, has faced over the years. This is a Ben Johnson-led team that is far better. Definitely their record shows you that. And you look at the Bears, I think Caleb Williams is a guy that you can easily get to, and I think that you can easily make flustered. I do. I've never liked Caleb Williams. I think he's a weirdo, and I don't think he's the best football quarterback out there in my eyes. I think he has deficiencies, and major ones at that. And I think if the Steelers go out there with the mind state of exploiting those deficiencies, I think they'll have a successful day against him. However, regardless of my feelings of Caleb Williams, I got to say this. The Steelers definitely need to make sure that the Bears have to prepare for both ends of that equation. They have to be able to keep that variable as a muddy one for the Bears. You can't just go out there and give them the answers to the test. Super Dave 2409. How about Darnell throwing those defenders like dolls? Absolutely massive monster human being, absolutely crazy guy in terms of size, speed, athleticism, strength. He's almost superhuman, and you wonder why Aaron Rodgers raved about Darnell for so long this offseason. And every chance he got, he talked about Darnell Washington and what he would mean to this football team. And I tried to tell you that the day they drafted him, guys. You heard me talk about Darnell. You heard me over and over all through the summers. You heard me talk about him last year, how they needed to get him more involved, and it was a stupid move on their part by not getting Darnell Washington more and more touches and incorporating him more into the offense week by week. And I think you're starting to see that now, and they realize the error of their ways. Darnell Washington is an absolute mismatch nightmare, guys. Not only a mismatch nightmare in the pass game, but a mismatch nightmare in terms of the blocking game, too. He can block downfield. And he's such a versatile weapon inside of the Steelers offense that, yeah, you want to see those multiple tight end sets, but it's got to be Darnell Washington and it can't just be take Darnell out. Darnell gives you too much flexibility. Pass catcher, a guy that you could probably hand the ball off to and he would do something special. He is just a massive monster athlete that is a complete freak in nature, and they need to take advantage of that in a big, big way. Hmm. Zah says it best. Real life Hulk. You aren't lying there, man. You aren't lying there. Extra black. I would honestly like to see what the rookie quarterback can do before the draft in a real game or games. I mean, imagine if Will plays better than average. That would save so much come draft time. I agree with you, Extra Black. I think it's almost imperative that they have to find an opportunity to allow Will Howard to play football this season and game action, real game action. They didn't get to see him in the preseason. Yeah, they get to see him in practice, but man, I think it's ultra imperative to see because I agree with you. I think that changes the dynamic of the 2026 draft in a major way. Um, Either way that works for the Steelers, whether he's bad or good, I think that vastly changes the approach. And I definitely think the Steelers need to see because they definitely like him, but we need to see exactly though what he can do. But it's really, really a shame that you would have to just put him out there and maybe rush him to see what he can do because of the opportunity that's sitting in front of you in the draft possibly next year when you can maybe make a move to get a quarterback. But we'll see what happens. What's going on, Jason? How's everybody doing tonight? What's up, Foots Big? Good to see you. Let's go to Za one more time. Grim. Hey, Jason, your mic drop logo is in the way of the top of the paragraph, just so you know. Oh, okay, I'll take it down next time I put that up there. Well, I won't put that up there no more, actually, because we won't be using that quote probably again. Um, Hope the fellas are doing good tonight. My apologies for blowing up the chat. It's my favorite, and I've been missing action. Hey, you're all right. You can blow up that chat. Make sure you guys are liking, sharing, and subscribing. Make sure you hit that hype button, guys. And also, you guys that are in here every night, you got to hit that like button for me. It's so, so very important to our channel's health, our channel's growth. So we truly appreciate that. And if you're not subscribed, I don't know what the hell you're waiting for. Hit that subscribe button. Extra Black, nothing has changed with Mason. He still can't read defense, and he has a terrible sense of awareness and stares down receivers the moment he says hike. I got to totally disagree with that, Extra Black. All he's done is win. And I think he can read defenses at a very efficient, high level. I think he's proven that with his ability to be able to utilize the short to intermediate game, also be able to use the deep game. I think he definitely, I think the deficiency with Mason is he lacks touch at times. He wants to drive the ball through everybody. I think that might be the only knock I can throw on Mason Rudolph right now. Do I think he's the best quarterback on the Steelers roster? Probably not. I think Aaron Rodgers is just a Hall of Famer, no doubt. But I think Mason Rudolph can get the job done. I don't think he stares down receivers. And the guy has just done nothing but win, and he's 4-1 every time he's put on a helmet in his last 5 games inside of a Steelers uniform. So we got to really give him credit there. It's tough. Quarterback evaluations are tough, guys. I may feel like I'm right. Extra Black may feel like he's right. You may feel like you're right. But quarterback, everybody's going to evaluate a quarterback differently. You know what I mean? And I think it's definitely something that is a very difficult thing to do in terms of evaluations, evaluating players, because if everybody could do it, everybody would have a good quarterback. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think there's so many variables at play, and it's a really difficult thing to do. Could we say Darnell is possibly taking tight end one from Pat? It's not possible. He already has. Pat Fryermuth is now situational. He gets very minimal targets. Darnell gets way more targets than him throughout the ball game. He's already taken that tight end one role away from Pat Fryermuth, without a doubt. The defense is getting better every week at the right time. I see the Steelers definitely winning the North. Yeah, I think they have improved, Daniel. No doubt about it. And I think it's because of what they've done adding Kyle Duggar. Also, you look at the tandem of James Pierre and Joey Porter Jr., and they were absolutely stellar together on the edges. And Kyle Duggar and Jalen Ramsey. Those two duos were absolutely amazing, guys. And I think that that is providing the success you're starting to see up front again. Because when the front end has to hold everything down, it's extremely difficult, guys. You got to have that back end chipping in. And I think what they're doing now, playing a lot of zone type stuff, trying to fool quarterbacks into making mistakes, like you saw Kyle Duggar do on Sunday. Lined up on the slot guy on the inside, on the right side of the formation, lined up there, or wait, left side of the formation, I believe, lined up on that slot guy as the snap, taking those steps back, looking like he's going to play that soft zone, sliding into the middle, and taking away that middle. And Joe Flacco just never even seen him, man. Joe thought he was committed to that over the top guy, deep zone. With the slot, and that he wasn't going to break into the middle and step in front of anything. He didn't even see him. So definitely, I like what they're doing. You're starting to see what's going on there. And as the Steelers, again, start to play more of that zone, keeping things in front of them, allowing that defensive front to work a little bit differently than they have been in the front half of the season. So I'm liking that for sure. Super Dave 2409. Also, could we see a little trickery from Tomlin as well as possibly sneaking in Howard to confuse the Bears even more? Um, Here's the thing. If Will Howard isn't listed as the number two, guys, he cannot enter the ball game unless both quarterbacks ahead of him are injured and out of the game. That's how that works. It's just the way it is. So probably not. You're probably going to not see that. Possibly if he's listed as the number two, if Mason starts and you have Will listed as the number two and not Aaron, because again, guys, even if Mason starts, Aaron may possibly be listed as a number two guy there just because he's been pushing to play, and maybe Mike just wants to leave him rest for a week. We'll see. Or even perhaps maybe Aaron is listed as the third emergency guy in case those two get injured, Will Howard and Mason Rudolph. Maybe that's how it works. Another Wombat. I'm not sure there is a first round quarterback talent in the draft. And that's the thing, another Wombat. Until we start getting to this draft evaluation and we start really diving deep into it, it's definitely going to be hard. But I agree with Extra Black's comment earlier. It's definitely going to change the way they go. And perhaps you're right. Maybe there isn't a real true first round quarterback that they are going to like, that they're going to even be able to possibly get. Because you've got to remember, guys, they're going to have to move up. They're going to have to package some draft capital together in order to move up to go get somebody that they like. So maybe there's not that guy in the draft that's worth that type of investment. So perhaps Will Howard might get that look regardless. So maybe we're trying to push things along a little bit too far, and we're maybe overlooking the fact that what another Wombat said. Maybe there isn't one that they want to go get. I agree with Jason. When Mason was getting warmed up, I didn't have any worries. I said, watch, Mason has got this. I never worried with him. I haven't for a long time, actually. And it's just not been when he came in and did the three games in 2023 and got the Steelers in the playoffs and was doing all those things. It's not just that. I got an itch on my back while I'm talking. I'm going to try to get it. But anyway, it's not just that, you know. I've liked Mason for a while, and if you've watched this channel, I've lobbied for him for a long time. And I know people disagree with me, and that's fine. But the proof's in the pudding. That's what I always say. Proof's in the pudding, and that means what? Wins, losses. When that player's in there, if your team's winning, I think things are all right. Mark Malone in the house. Good to see Mark. Magnum goes through his progressions quick, man. I think he does. I think he does. I definitely do. I think he goes through them very fast. He's a good processor of the game. I think he's super ultra intelligent for a guy at the quarterback position, and that's exactly what you want. And I think Mason is exactly what you want, a game manager. I don't think he's going to cause a lot of turnovers and things of that nature. I don't think he's going to get you behind the chains doing that kind of stupid shit. So yeah, I'm comfortable with Mason, guys. I'm comfortable. But the question is, would you guys rather have an injured Aaron Rodgers in there instead of a fully healthy Mason Rudolph? I understand it's Aaron Rodgers' left wrist. I get that. But playing quarterback, you need both your hands, man. Yeah, you throw with your right. I get that. But you got to take snaps. You got to do action game, guys. Let me explain this to you. And I'm sure a lot of you already know this. So I'm probably just preaching to the choir. But as a quarterback, and I tell this to the youth quarterbacks, and it goes in one ear and out the other. There's some that listen. Some of them listen. And the ones that do are very smart because they're getting a good tip. The action game as a quarterback, when I talk about the action game, that's the fakes and things of that nature. You always have to carry out the fakes in the action game to the best of your ability. That has to be the most flawless part of your game because that really sells things and opens things up for your run game and for your pass game in terms of the play action pass. Also, inside of the run, if you're running any type of misdirection, a good action game from a quarterback, a guy that's going to actually sell the fake fully. Not just, oh, I'm acting like I'm fake and then just stand there and look at you. No, I'm talking about a guy that carries out the fake and then carries out his boot afterwards, bringing some defender possibly with him. That's what I'm talking about. A quarterback that has a good action game is of utmost importance. So when I'm looking for a quarterback at the NFL level, one, I'm looking for a good processor of the game. I got to have a guy that's smart enough to be able to handle NFL schemes. I got to have that first and foremost. I know a lot of people now in today's world want to overcome that by just gathering a supreme athlete and allowing him to run whenever he wants to. I still think that that's a foolish thing, and I still think the guys that are great processors of the game typically rise above and win. Yeah, you're going to get lucky sometimes with them super athletic guys, but I need a guy that has the athleticism and the intellect. I need both, but I can take less athleticism and more intellect any day, in my opinion. I think quarterbacks got to be able to process well. So that's one. And two, I got to have a quarterback that carries out the action game, a quarterback that carries out his fakes, that sells things, that is a good actor. I need that from a quarterback. And if you can't do that, I don't want you as my starter. I need a guy that's going to tuck, make that fake and then tuck and roll out, make that like he's going to pass. I know that seems elementary, guys, but that is so damn important, man. So that's what I'm looking for, man. A processor and a guy that can act, a guy that can carry out those actions. Those are my two top things whenever I talk about quarterbacks. Another Wallbat, Mason is a quality backup. That's what I'll say. Exactly. That's what he has carved out a role for himself as right now. And that's all he is right now. A very good, solid backup. That's what we can call him right now. But I'm going to go a little step further and say that I am ultra comfortable when he comes into the game. I am not worried in any way, shape, or form. I actually feel like the offense is a little bit more exciting with Mason Rudolph at the helm as opposed to Aaron Rodgers currently. How this roster, how this scheme, how everything is constructed right now, honestly, I think it suits Mason Rudolph a little bit better. But again, Aaron Rodgers, Hall of Famer, man. You're not, if he's able to start, you're not going to let Mason start over Aaron. You're just not. Magnum goes through those progressions quick. We did that. Zah says, I believe in the red nose. It's subjective as well. yeah, if quarterback evaluations are definitely subjective. But everybody raves about Lamar Jackson, and I've told you about him for years. I don't know. I feel like I'm a good judge of quarterback play, and I'm not going to sit here and say I'm not or act like I feel like I can judge quarterback play well. And I think Lamar Jackson's a great regular season quarterback, can get it done. But when the chips are down and you got to be an elite processor of the game, you got to be an elite processor of the game. I'll say that again. He can't get it done. He throws picks, he fumbles the ball, makes poor decisions, does the things that you don't want him to do. And I told you that, guys. Fantastic young man. I feel like he does everything right, but when the chips are down, he's not a championship quarterback. And I've told you that for years. The proof's in the pudding, guys. The proof is in the pudding. But I got to say this, though. I will give Lamar Jackson credit. I think he's a solid young man. I don't think he's like an idiot out there to where he's acting stupid and doing stupid things. I think Lamar Jackson definitely handles himself well as a man, as a leader of a franchise. So we have to give him credit there. But again, elite processor of the game when you're in the championship games, when you're in the big moments, and I don't see that from him. Mike, Mike, do you agree that the Duggar signing was huge, a great chess piece? Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I think Kyle Duggar definitely has brought more than I ever anticipated. Kyle Duggar to bring. I thought that he was going to be a solid addition, especially with the turnstile in the back end of that Steelers defense. However, whenever Kyle Duggar is out there, he is doing some really, really great things for a guy that's only been in Pittsburgh for a handful of games. He is reading the offenses very well. They have been able to incorporate him schematically very well. He grasps all the concepts that he needs to grasp, and the skill set that Kyle Duggar possesses really, really plays well with Jalen Ramsey for some reason. We'll see how that works moving forward and how intricate that gets, and maybe decipher the reasons why they mesh so well. But I got to say this, man, they fit so well together. I'm going to come back to another Wombat, but I think we got one coming in. Yes, we do. JD coming in with that super chat. Appreciate you, JD. Rodgers, Rudolph, or Howard. I would be confident in any of those three. I like it, JD. Honestly, I do. I think right now, I think this is the best that the Steelers quarterback room has looked in a very long time, and that's exciting to me, man. That is definitely exciting to me. So yeah, I'm okay with any of the three. Will, I'm going to be a little nervous because we've never seen him play. But I would be hopeful for the young man because I like his skill set coming out of college. I know he's a winner. He won on the biggest stage at the collegiate level. So, I'm happy about it if he comes in because I just want to see the young man get an opportunity to do things that are special and to show what he can do. Definitely. I always want to see the young guys get that chance, but I don't want it to be the expense of an injury, but that's the only way he'll ever see the field this year. So we'll see what happens. But I'm confident in this quarterback room, guys, from top to bottom. I am. I feel good. I feel better this year than I've felt since Ben Roethlisberger and even before Ben Roethlisberger left because old Ben that couldn't throw and couldn't move the way that he once did, yeah, I was worried there. So we're talking a decade worth of football for the Pittsburgh Steelers since I've felt comfortable inside of that quarterback room. All right, guys, like, share, subscribe, all that good shit. Super chats are always open. Get your comment instantly read. I'll try to catch up the best I can in the chat. I appreciate you all so far for liking, subscribing, all that good stuff, hitting the hype button. We needed 4 more or 5 more subscribers when we came on to hit 4,700 subscribers here on the channel. So let's get that tonight. And that comes from you guys sharing. Another Wombat. It's wild that they're not using Pat. He is miles better than Washington. I guess it is what it is. I think both of them are different. And what the Steelers want to do right now, another Wombat, I think you're going to lean toward Darnell Washington. because you need a guy that's multifaceted in what he does, a guy that's able to catch the football, a guy that's able to run after the catch, a guy that's able to block better than Pat. Pat struggled in the blocking game. I think he's gotten a little bit better this year, no doubt about it. But now I think with the Steelers, now that you've had the emergence of Darnell Washington, I don't think there needs to be a clear cut 1, 2, 3 type guy. I think now what you thought that tight end room was going to be, at least what I thought it was going to be, when you brought in Johnny Smith, when you brought in Darnell Washington and Pat Fryermuth and Connor Hayward, and you have them all together now. I think what you're going to see now, hopefully, is the transition now of utilizing the short to intermediate pass game. And that requires the tight ends to be very, very involved. Pat Fryermuth with those, I like those routes where you see him break in and drag back out to the sideline. I love those routes, and I think Pat Fryermuth can be very good at those. And I've seen him be very good at those, and get a lot of yards after the catch. And I think that could be real chain moving type routes for the Steelers. Utilizing that, having Big Darnell shooting up the seam, Pat Fryermuth doing that fake in slide and dragging back out to the sideline, all while having a guy like DK Metcalf hitting a hook, Calvin Austin hitting a big deep seam also, or a big go route. I think that is what you need to see the Steelers start to do. Use the route tree, man. Have players going everywhere. Create layers inside of this pass game. And I think that's what they do wrong inside of this pass game. It's either all or nothing for them. You don't see the layers that you would like to see inside of a pass game, at least from my perspective, to where I'm looking at the layers of I got a deep one, I got a hook, I got a short, I got an intermediate. I got all the layers and I got guys going everywhere. And that's going to naturally, hopefully, create a mismatch somewhere and create an open receiver. And that's why guys got to process, guys got to block, give the quarterback a second. And that's actually why I like Mason a little bit better right now, because he can move, buying himself a little bit more time, maybe possibly than Aaron, to maybe deliver some of those balls deep downfield that maybe perhaps work their way open. Or again, those fake inside, come back out, drag to the outside. Maybe those routes taking a little bit extra time to develop. Getting a guy that's a little bit more mobile and a little bit more fluid in the pocket will open some of those things up and create a little bit more excitement inside of Steelers pass game that I think has been anemic so far this season. Uh, Compared to what I wanted with Aaron Rodgers. I think it's been better, definitely, than what we've seen with any Steelers quarterback over the years. Like I told you guys, it's been bad for a long time. But since Ben, nobody's put up the numbers that Aaron Rodgers has. So we have to commend him for that. But I want more from Aaron because I think he can do more. We've seen him do more. And I think if you get this Steelers pass game layered a little bit better, getting it a little bit more working a little bit more fluid, I think you could definitely see some things that we haven't seen in the city of Pittsburgh for quite some time. And yes, there's still time to have that happen. I hope he doesn't leave because he isn't starting. I just think they need to start getting him involved. You saw what he was able to do in Cincinnati, big, over 100 yards, tutties, doing the damn thing. So you know it's there. You just got to get him involved. And that's what I'm talking about, Za, getting multiple layers inside of this pass game and allowing things to start to grow a little bit better organically, and creating more opportunities for everybody. Yeah, I want to see the run game work a little bit better also. So yeah, we got to find that balance, and you got to find a way not to force feed DK Metcalf the ball all the time. I liked what Mason did, spread it around a little bit. I think Aaron got to focus on that a little bit more. Trust in Roman Wilson and Calvin Austin a little bit more. Trust in Pat Fryermuth a little bit more. Continue to feed Big Darnell. I just think that you saw maybe a little bit more of that spread out type nature, spreading the ball around type thing earlier in the season. Like I pointed out earlier in the week or last week, Ben Skoranek scoring touchdowns. Spread the ball around to different players, and I think it's definitely going to be better off for the Steelers or offense. I love Muth, but he's prone to concussion. Accept the bag and be on a winning organization. Yeah, I think he's fine. I don't think there's really anything going on there. I just think we got to watch this thing grow. Robert Road in the house. What's up, Robert? Mason doesn't see the field on the level of Rodgers. but it is miles ahead of Fields, Trubisky, and Pickett, etc. Mason can fill in if Rodgers can't go. I agree with you guys on this. If Rodgers isn't going, I want Mason in there. And I don't think I want an injured Aaron Rodgers in there. I don't. He's 42 years old, guys. I don't want an injured 40 something year old quarterback out there. Why? I'd rather have him fresh and ready to go for playoff time and allow Mason to take the snaps now than force feeding Aaron Rodgers. Athletic Productions, what's up? Good to see you. Tom Ford, what's up, man? He says, remember when Brett Kiesel, James Harrison, and Alan Smith all slammed Vince Young, quarterback, uh, and then they played the Titans back in. Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about Aaron Smith. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, they beat the shit out of Vince that night. Super Dave 2409, do you think Howard will be the starting quarterback next season? And if so, what will our record be? That's a little bit too far ahead for me, Super Dave, right now. I don't know. If I don't know how much you've watched us here at Mike Drop Sports. This summer, I will give you all that. Or right after the football season, I will give you all that. But I'm really ultra focused on this team now, so I haven't really looked that far ahead. Do I think there's a possibility there? Yeah, absolutely. Because Aaron Rodgers is getting beat up a little bit this year, so you probably don't want to come back. We'll see how this season unfolds, but is there a possibility there? Yeah. All right, guys, I'm going to get to some people maybe that I haven't got to yet tonight. Craig Werlo, why is Tomlin such a dumbass? He said today at his press conference that Slay will be back as a starter when ready and not Pierre. Uh, and again, we can't take that seriously, Craig, what Tomlin says in those press conferences. Because again, it's just like the quarterback variable. You don't just show your hand. You don't say who's going to start, who's going to be here, who's playing where. That makes it easier for teams to prepare for. So, yeah, if you steer people in the wrong direction, perhaps. So, I'm going to have to wait and see exactly how the snaps get divided up. And I can say this with certainty. If Slay goes out there and doesn't want to tackle again, and is getting torched up, you'll see James Pierre quick. I could say that for sure. And we got to really applaud the efforts of a guy like Eccles, a guy that can fill in, do the slot type stuff. So maybe putting Pierre back on the outside, allowing Slay to do some different, more eccentric, more exotic things might benefit the Steelers' defense a little bit better. Daniel Barry Sports Highlights, what's up? He says, happy Tuesday, everyone. Let me try to see if anybody else. I'll do Robert again. Robert's only got one out, so let me try to get Robert. All right, guys, make sure you're liking, sharing, and subscribing. Hit that hype button. Get hype for us here on Steel City Live, only on Mike Drop Sports. I'm your host, Jason, as always. Robert Road. I think there could be 5 or 6 quarterbacks to go in the first round. Only Mendoza from Indiana and Moore from Oregon look like top 5 overall picks at this time. Guys with talent slip, but the talent is there. Yeah, I got to go with what you guys are saying about it, guys. I don't like college football that much. So I don't really dive into college football until this season's over. And then I will dive in and go through all the tape, go through everything that I think the Steelers need, and then start looking at those positions and start to get a better perspective on it. So I'll go with what you guys got going on right now. But again, I've seen late round quarterbacks do well. I've seen first round quarterbacks flop. I've seen, the other way around. So, quarterback evaluation is very hard, guys. Dude, when you have a guy that keeps getting burned, but you have another guy playing good against the Bengals, great wide receivers, that player should have more playing time. I agree. It makes sense to me, Craig. It makes sense to me. Lamar and Dak are the same person. Yeah, they're not championship winners. Robert Rowe, Marino had a down last year at Pitt. I think he had 4 or 5 interceptions, or 4 or 5 interception game against Illinois. Yeah, I'm not sure. I can't remember back there, man. Za says when running the ball, Lamar probably had the best situational awareness, definitely out of the quarterbacks. Yeah, as far as being an athlete and running a ball, there's nobody better. No doubt about it. I'm talking complexities in terms of processing defenses. I just don't think he's at the top level with that. Super Dave asks, is this Mike Tomlin's last season in the black and gold? I think the answer to that question is no. I think he definitely will get. He's here as long as he wants. Rubber Road, Howard, never even played in a preseason game. I pray that Howard doesn't have to play. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's going to definitely be a little sketch, no doubt, because we just don't know, man. Roberta Campbell in the house. What's up, Roberta? She says good evening to everybody. Um, Black and Gold 36. Hey, Jason, just enjoying the show. I would love for Mason to start until Rodgers is completely healthy. I think this game's importance is not as bad if we lose due to being out of conference. I would typically agree with that, Black and Gold, that it doesn't have the importance that you would think. But it does, because why? You are right there and being chased down by the Baltimore Ravens. They are one game back. You cannot lose. It's just not possible. It makes for a really, really fucked up situation for the Steelers if they lose. And I would typically agree with you, bro. In terms of, yes, an NFC opponent, the loss maybe wouldn't hurt as bad, but it does. When you're trying to stay ahead in the division, and the team that was once 3, 4 games back is now one game behind you, losing is not an option. So yeah, I think it has a lot more importance than maybe some would give it. I think Darnell Washington can become one of the best tight ends in the league. That's from Sebastian. What's up, Sebastian? Good to see you. Black and gold. But the next 3 division games will determine if we're in the wild card. I think they have a very difficult schedule. I think the 2 most important games are the Baltimore Ravens games, no doubt about it, and the Cleveland Browns games. You need those division games to be wins. I think you could split the Baltimore games and still be okay and still win the division, but they shouldn't be playing for a wild card spot. That's not what they should be playing for. They should be playing to win the division. Yeah, you'll play on wild card weekend, I guess, but yeah, you should be looking to win the division, man. You had a 4 game lead. Anything less is craziness. Hi, JD. Does anyone else think the NFL went too light on Chase for the spinning? I do. I know he's fined $500,000, but it is what it is. Let me get this down. Roberta's comment. Right there is the quote from Mike Tomlin regarding Jalen Ramsey and the spinning incident. I was aware. I certainly talked to Jalen in game. It's an unfortunate incident. It's not an act that's common to the game of football. It's nothing to do with football, Tomlin said, and so I'm not going to comment on it. The NFL office, rendered their judgment on it, and so we're moving on. And that's exactly probably what he should say. Why even get into it? Ramsey's been punished, suspended a game, fined over $500,000, barely over $500,000, but he was fined over $500,000. And that's probably what he loses in his game check, to be honest. So it is what it is. I don't know. I think it was definitely too light, in my opinion, for spitting in somebody's face. The Irish, Welsh, Scots, and English have been found to be. I don't even know what you're talking about there, bro. Okie doke. Roberta Campbell, thanks for watching anyway. Make sure you hit the like button there. Malachor Atlantis. I think Mason can win games. Yeah, I do too, Roberta. Long live King Trump. He says JPJ deserves respect. Yeah, I think, again, guys, James Pierre and Joey Porter Jr. were more instrumental to that win than I think a lot of people are giving them credit for. You don't win that game if they don't play the way they do. The proof's in the pudding there. Just a few weeks ago, they got lit up in the past game, and we'll see. Yeah, 42 nonetheless. December is literally in what? 20 days, 15 days. So yeah, he's 42 in my eyes. Daniel Warman. I always like that. I'll get to Daniel in 1 second. Hold on, Daniel. I'll bring your comment back up. I always like when people say, Yeah, I'm not 42 yet. I got 2 weeks, bro. Yeah, you're 42, man. Oh, hold on, Daniel. I brought your comment down. It was actually a blessing that they didn't trade for a wide receiver. Go to them big tight ends. I still think they needed to go and get a wide receiver. I said at the beginning of the year I didn't think they needed to. I thought they were going to be absolutely fine with the personnel that they had. But I think I was wrong there. I do think the addition of another top shelf wide receiver would definitely really benefit the Steelers in a major, major way. J Rod, what's up, man? Good to see you. Cincinnati took a restraining order against Mason. Do you blame them? Took out a restraining order against Mason. Do you blame them? No, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not sure what you meant, Daniel. Who is our two wide receivers? Roman Wilson. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you got Roman Wilson, Calvin Austin, Scotty Miller, Ben Skoranek. Yeah, that's what you're looking at. And MVS, if he can get off the practice squad and get playing. So we forget MVS is here. Marquez Valdez Scantling. Maybe perhaps you start to see him. I said week 12 or 13 is probably when you're going to see Marquez Valdez Scantling. And what better than going into Chicago to add another weapon if Aaron Rodgers is going to play, especially if an injured Aaron Rodgers is going to play. Danny George in the house. He says, damn good show. Thank you. We are having a damn good show. Thank you, Danny George. We appreciate you. Challenger 22 in the house. Tomlin plays politics. Why Slay is back starting. Again, guys, don't take that to heart. Please do not. Again, you are giving away your game plan. You're making it easy to prepare if you say exactly who's playing that where when you don't have to. When there's some sort of doubt in this league, you have to prepare for every possibility. And that makes it more difficult to prepare for when there's question marks on who is going to play and who's going to play where. That is a big, big thing. Damn good show. Special guest, the Hodge twins. Yes, I love them guys, man. That's why I started saying that. It's because of the Hodge twins. Definitely good conservative show to watch. That is foul. Spitting on someone. Yeah, I agree. I agree. All right, let's go to Black and Gold, and then we'll go to Robert Road. No, I agree, but we had the lead last season, and Tomlin lost the house money and went into the postseason flatter than a shooken up RC Cola. That's a good one. Yeah, no doubt, but that was the collapse. No doubt there, the Tomlin collapse, man. Robert Road. I watch about 10 to 12 college games per week. A couple of the guys are expected to be first round picks have been playing with injuries. The Steelers may get a great quarterback talent late in the first or second round. And that too benefits the Steelers, Robert. No doubt about it. When you don't got to package a bunch of picks and capital to go forward to trade for a guy, definitely. I hope that does happen. Definitely be something cool. All right, guys, like, share, and subscribe if you're not already. We need like 4 subscribers. I think we can do that. Let's drum up 5 or 6 subscribers. Also, become a member. It's easy to do that. It's just 99 cents a month. You don't get nothing crazy for it. It's just a donation. Really, honestly, it's 99 cents. And really, it just helps us do some better things. So 99 cents a month. You can find that in your couch cushions. Always will be 99 cents a month. So you don't ever have to expect that to go up if you do get a membership. It'll always be 99 cents a month forever. Let's keep going. Danny George, I hit the big 6-1 on Thursday. Well, happy early birthday to our friend Danny George. Did I miss news about Russ? Has anyone heard from him? No, I have not heard from Russ, man. Now that you brought it up, I have not heard from him in a very, very long time. Maybe I should try to catch up with him just to make sure he's okay. I have not heard from Russ in a very long time. Yeah, there's a couple OGs that we're definitely haven't seen in a while. Have we seen TD? TD? Yeah, I think we've seen TD here and there. I was trying to think of some other people that maybe we haven't seen. You know who we haven't seen in a long time either? Downtown John Broadway. You remember Downtown? Thank you. Yeah, downtown hasn't been in here. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you to JD gifting 10 Mike Drop Sports memberships. Thank you, man. Truly, truly appreciate that. Gifting that. You can see everybody that was gifted a membership. Miss P. Yeah, Miss P's been around a little bit. We haven't seen Miss P either. Make sure you have your gifted memberships turned on, though, guys. That way you can receive a gifted membership when they are donated. Thanks for JD with his second donation of the night. Already had a super chat and gifted donation. So thank you, thank you, thank you. We truly appreciate that. Definitely appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know about downtown, man. I'm going to have to try to catch up with those guys. I don't even know if I still have their emails or not. I'll have to look, guys. I've been so busy too, so I have definitely, uh, yeah, fallen off with some of that. The best deal in town, in my opinion, with helping out Mike Drop Sports. All my Steelers Nation is here, and we're allowed to be honest here and not just be blind homers. Thank you for giving us an outlet. Absolutely, man. And that's the whole idea of this channel, man. You don't have to agree with me. You don't have to kiss my ass. Like, you don't have to. Say what you want. Do what you want. Say what you want about the Steelers. It's definitely what we want to see, man. Absolutely. Thank you, Robert. Appreciate it, man. Smash the shit out of that thing. Yeah, me too. Me too, Danny. I wonder about downtown John Broadway, and I had not thought about Russ until just now. Actually, no, I take that back. I thought about him the other day. I said, man, I wonder where Big Russ is. Because he's definitely, there's some stuff up here at the top that Russ donated to us. The flag behind me, the Steelers Nation flag, he donated. Russ was definitely a very big supporter of the channel. I don't know what happened to him. I love Shuck, bro. I love Shuck Ford. You know that. Sydney Wilson, what's up? Have you had any opportunity to go to any Steeler games this season? No, I have not, but I will be at the Miami Monday night football game with my kids. So we will talk about that more. That date is December, Monday, the 15th of December at 8:15 p.m. on Monday Night Football as the Pittsburgh Steelers are at home at Acrisure Stadium taking on the Miami Dolphins. So make sure you guys check that out. We truly, truly will appreciate talking to some of you guys. Thank you, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, guys, we're going to bust up out of here again. Like, share, subscribe, watch it later, share it later. Once it uploads, try to spread the word about the best community in all of Steelers Nation. It's right here on Mike Drop Sports. I'm Jason. I'm your host, as always, and we'll keep diving in every single day. Black and Gold, how's the kiddos wrestling go? Good. He's learning, man, so we'll see. But basketball's starting too, man. Damn. And we already signed up for that before he started wrestling. So now we're pot committed to both. So it's going to suck, man. I don't know, JD. We'll see. Maybe, possibly before the game. I'm going to get down there a little early, no doubt about it. So I'm hoping maybe, JD, I will. I think it'll be cool. I hope to get to talk to some people that watch Mike Drop Sports, no doubt. Again, the only time I've ever had somebody recognize me from the channel outside of Morgantown is in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. So go figure. That's another person. Where's Steve Winters been? He'll pop in from time to time. All right, guys, I'm out of here, man. I appreciate everything you guys do for us here at the channel. So until tomorrow, I'm Jason. This is Mike Drop Sports. Peace.
Power takes an approach as a coach.
Let's go. Let's go. It's a field back block, and that's